Hey everyone, welcome back to the homestead. I am Nadine. Today we are gonna go out to the garden. We've had a lot of 30-degree nights here and the garden has pretty much died off. So I wanted to give you guys kind of an end of season garden tour and go through the cleanup process with you guys here and kind of show you what I do to wrap up my garden season. So let's head to the garden and I'll show you around. Alright, so you're in the garden, guys, and let me just kind of walk you through and show you what's going on back here. So as you can see, a lot of my garden has died off already. This is the first bed. This one had all my herbs in it. Some of them are holding up really well to the cold, like this one here, and I do believe this one's parsley. Sage is doing well, but most of the other ones have died off. The basil and a couple others. My tomatoes, what's left of them will go out to the chickens. I am going to save a couple to harvest the seeds out of, so some of these red ones I'm going to save to try to save seeds from. I did pull my lettuce out a while ago, but as you can see, it reseeded itself. So I got a little bit of this, I want to say this is butter crunch that reseeded itself. So we've been enjoying that. The marigolds are sort of hanging on. I think this is a weed that needs pulled. But this bed's pretty much empty now. Swiss chard is still holding on, but it will probably get harvested here. Those marigolds have kind of kicked the bucket. Strawberries were doing really good still. This bed had all my beans, so I'm gonna pull some of these beans off to harvest the seeds, and then the rest of them will go back to the compost. My peppers are done for the year, so those will need taken out. Calendula flowers, I may try to pull some seeds off of these for next year. Celery, I'm gonna need to harvest this and get it chopped up and frozen. It's done really well this year, but I want to get to it before it gets really cold. Some of it's kind of wilty. Cherry tomatoes are finally done. I can pull those out. Like I said, I might save some of the red ones or the ripe ones for seeds. More peppers that need to come out. Last row, I've got some marigolds. I'm probably going to try to pop some seeds off of there as well. Tomatoes can come out, and my zinnias have kicked the bucket, so they'll have to come out. More peppers. And my last bed, which has more of the tomatoes, some marigolds, and zinnias. So it's just a quick garden walkthrough of what my garden looks like here at the end of the season. I got so busy with life here this summer that I really didn't get out here with you guys to show you what was going on with my garden. Couple videos ago I did a video on blossom end rot and what I did to help remedy that, and I used some organic fertilizer that did seem to help, as the bottom end rot it really didn't disappear, but it didn't get any worse either. So I think that did help. So yeah, I think that was the only real video that I didn't give you guys an update on. So the fertilizer did seem to help with the bottom end rot on the tomatoes. Like I said, it didn't completely get rid of it, but like I said, the bottom end rot really didn't get any worse after that. So I think if I face that problem again in the future, I think I'm gonna try the fertilizer, or like I said, this year we just had a water issue. Our weather was just crazy weird. We didn't get enough consistent regular watering, and so next year, if the weather's kind of wonky, I'll make sure to be more consistent with my watering. So now that I've given you guys a walkthrough and a little bit of an update, I'm gonna go ahead and start cleaning things out in here. Now, what I'm going to do specifically is, instead of pulling everything out by the roots, I'm just going to cut it off low to the soil and leave the roots in the soil this year. So I learned that your soil is a very active, very living place, especially when you're using really good soil, you're using compost, you're adding worm castings and making sure that your soil is alive and active on a microscopic level. And when you pull the roots out of your soil, you're kind of churning up that microscopic lifestyle or system, your microbiome in your soil, and you're exposing it to the air, which is killing off your soil. And so I really don't want that to happen. I want to keep as much healthy systems in my garden in place as possible. And so this year I'm not going to be pulling out my plants. I'm going to be leaving the root system intact and just cutting off everything at soil level. And this way the microbiome of my soil stays intact, and hopefully next year I will have a much healthier, much more active soil for my plants. So let me get you guys set up on a tripod. I'm going to grab my gloves and a pair of clippers, and we're going to get to work. Alrighty guys, so I just finished clearing everything out. All of the beds are nice and empty now, with the exception of a few green things like my lettuce, my Swiss chard, my celery, things that I still can harvest during the colder months. But all of the beds are cleaned out. Now that all of the beds are clean, my neighbor was kind enough to blow all of his maple leaves into a pile for me, and I'm going to grab all of those leaves, and I'm going to use them as mulch in my garden beds for this winter because I don't have straw this year. And then that will just provide some protection for my garden beds, and it'll also break down and add to the nutrient content in my soil. So let's go ahead and grab some leaves and get these beds covered. Alrighty guys, we just finished putting leaves over the last bed, and the garden is officially away for the season. So the leaves are going to provide coverage for the dirt. It's going to help with erosion and it just blowing away, and the leaves are also going to add nutrients and organic matter into my soil over the winter time. So next spring I'll have a nice loamy soil for planting in. And then come the spring, I'll kind of break this up as best as I can and see what's left of it, and kind of go from there. And then I'll probably top it off with a little bit of rabbit manure and my compost, which should be beautiful by next spring. And then we will have excellent soil for growing in again next year. So if you guys have any questions about how I put my garden to bed for the winter, go ahead and leave in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. And if you like my content, if you find it helpful, please hit that like button on your way out. And make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. That lets you know when new videos are up on the channel. And it is a super great way to support me and my channel as well. So thank you guys so much for all of you subscribers and all of you who watch my videos on a regular basis. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to grow where you're planted.